Uniformity in nature. The laws of nature are a precondition of intelligibility. So this is the third and final example of a precondition of intelligibility we'll look at today, though we could look at more. Why can we know anything at all? This is only explained by the Bible, by Genesis 1 to 11, the biblical creator God. And so uniformity in nature is one of these preconditions that only the Bible explains, provides the basis for, which is the creator God himself. So don't confuse this uniformity in nature with evolution's false doctrine of uniformitarianism that we discussed earlier in the course. Rather, we're talking about the laws of nature here. And as depicted on the slide, one such law is the sun's rising every day, dependably. As we say, as surely as the sun will rise tomorrow, we'll do such and such, or such and such is the case. We say that because it's certain. But why is it certain? And how can we know? Uniformity in nature demonstrates the ultimate proof of creation. Is the evolutionary worldview able to explain the existence of uniformity in nature, the natural laws? Evolutionists claim that evolution is necessary to do science, whereas in fact, evolution is completely anti-scientific. It contradicts the reason that the scientific method is even possible, which is that the Creator upholds his universe in an orderly, logical, consistent way so that there are laws of nature that are the same from day to day, year to year, which make scientific inquiry and discovery possible. Evolutionists actually claim that the Bible believers are science deniers, whereas in fact the truth is exactly the opposite, 180 degrees different. Evolutionists are actually science deniers, but since they've told their lie loudly and repeatedly for years in all our institutions, most people now believe that lie. They use the Adolf Hitler method to get their way, lying loudly and often, while those who tell the truth are silenced and marginalized. As Jason Lyle writes, ironically, evolution is actually contrary to the principles of science. That is, if evolution were true, the concept of science would not make any sense. Science actually requires a biblical creation framework in order to be possible. And by the way, the father of modern science, Sir Isaac Newton, understood that, and that's why he was able to found the wonderful modern scientific age in which we live, which is coming to an end because of throwing out biblical creation from our education and from every aspect of our lives. Lyle says, in order to do science, we take for granted that the universe is understandable, that it can be quantified in a way the mind can comprehend. We assume that the universe is logical and orderly and that it obeys mathematical laws that are consistent over time and space. God upholds all things by his power, Hebrews 1:3, as he's promised. Despite having cursed the universe and Adam because of sin, which was a good thing because it means there's an end date, there's an expiry date on sin and death and evil and violence and suffering in this universe, God nevertheless promised to uphold the universe in a basically orderly fashion, making scientific inquiry possible, which requires predictable, stable systems to investigate. And uniquely, wonderfully, we read this promise of God to uphold an orderly creation in Scripture. The evolutionists and the secularists are terrified that the sky is falling, that it's going to be a meteor, or the earth is going to die, or this or that. They're afraid because they don't know or accept the Scriptures. God has promised a stability. We don't have to fear the future. We can trust the Creator who holds the future and holds all creation and sustains it for us. In his revealed book to man, the Bible, God has made these promises that give us hope and comfort and confidence in the future, confidence in him for the future. After the global flood, when Noah, the father of everyone, watching this talk around the world, when Noah sent up a sacrifice to the Lord our Maker, the Lord said to him and to us, I will never again curse the ground for man's sake, although the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth, nor will I again destroy everything which I have made, as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, and day and night shall not cease. That's Genesis 8, verses 21 to 22. Similarly, as testament to the Lord's promise that he will indeed keep all his promises to the tribe and nation of Israel, he said through his prophet Jeremiah, if you can break my covenant with the day and my covenant with the night, those natural laws God has put in place, so that there will not be day and night in their season, then my covenant may also be broken with David my servant, so that he shall not have a son to reign on his throne, and with the Levites the priests my ministers. That's Jeremiah 33, 20 to 21. And the Lord repeats that solemn declaration a few verses later He says, if my covenant is not with the day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, the laws of nature, then I will cast away the descendants of Jacob and David, my servant. God bases his eternal commitment to the tribe and nation of Israel on his eternal commitment, his laws of nature, the rising and setting of the sun, day and night, etc. Amazing. Lyle concludes, evolutionists are able to do science only because they are inconsistent. They're hypocritical. They accept biblical principles such as uniformity, the laws of nature, while simultaneously denying the Bible from which those principles are derived. Such inconsistency is common in secular thinking, he writes. Secular scientists claim the universe is not designed, but they do science as if the universe is designed and upheld by God in a uniform way, which of course it is.